Well, good afternoon. Happy Friday, February 7th. Mark Milam here, your mortgage professional. Let's get right to it. No shortage of economic data this week, along with executive orders and, of course, news on the tariffs. Are the tariffs on? Are the tariffs off? We had a lot going on this week influencing mortgage rates. Let's get right to it. I'm going to flip the screen around here. Really a pretty positive week, with the exception of today. Of all days, we started to sell off today, giving back some of the gains that we got, particularly on Wednesday. But this was the week in general, a rising trend for mortgage-backed securities. We'll take that, albeit modest increases to mortgage-backed securities, which means lower mortgage rates. That's perfectly welcome. But why did we sell off today? This is pretty fascinating. If we come down here and take a look, we can see today we got non-farm payrolls. This is the big kahuna report. This report, probably the most important economic report as it pertains to mortgage interest rates, and we came in under expectations. That's exactly what we want to see, is a softening of the labor market. We don't necessarily need a weak labor market, but we need the labor market to soften so the Fed can stop worrying about inflation, and maybe perhaps the long end of the yield curve will follow suit. So we were estimating 170,000 jobs created. We created 143,000. What's the rub, right? What caused mortgage-backed securities to sell off? We should have rallied on that news. Well, if you dig deep into this Bureau of Labor Statistics report that came out at 8:30 this morning, Friday, February 7th, we can see right here 143,000 jobs created against an estimate of 170,000. But it's the devil in the details here. Let's scroll all the way down and take a look at two things. Here's the first. So the first thing to take a look at is the change in non-farm payroll for November, which was a very strong report, was revised up 49,000 jobs. So we went from 212,000 jobs created in November to 261, right? Relatively strong report, strong labor report back in November. And then December was revised up as well by 51,000. Now, December was already a strong report at 256,000 jobs created. And with that revision, we're now up over 307,000 jobs created just in the month of December. Those are two big revisions that we don't typically see, and this is one of the things that's impacting mortgage rates. But further along those lines is down here when you get into something called the quarterly census of employment and wages. And think of the QCEW like an audit of the non-farm payroll report. And the QCEW, the last time one of these got reported, it revised the prior non-farm payroll numbers down by about 800,000 jobs. And it's been forecast and widely predicted that we would see a similar number with this QCEW report. In fact, there were some pundits and some economists saying, hey, get ready. The QCEW number, when it comes out, it's going to revise non-farm payrolls down by over 1 million over the past 12 months. That's a lot of jobs lost, or at least misreported. But this revision came out here in March. And you can see that they adjusted jobs down. They certainly adjusted them down, but adjusted down 589,000. That is nowhere near the reduction to job creation that we thought we were going to get. And for that reason, you're seeing mortgage-backed securities sell off. Folks were anticipating that we would see a larger correction to non-farm payrolls or to job creation over the past 12 months, and we just didn't get that. In fact, we revised up the past 2 months, November and December. So all of that taken in stride, I'll show you sort of a graph on this. This is the non-farm payroll number going all the way back to January of 2024 through January of 2025. And you can see what happened right here. We've got the headline number in blue, and we have the revision number in green. And for November, our headline number was 227,000. We revised up to 261,000. Here in December, we were at 256. We revised up to 307,000. So even though January 2025 was a good bit weaker than forecast, than the consensus estimate, we saw these prior months get adjusted up. We saw the QCEW come in strong. Listen, the thing that really matters right now is labor. It is not so much about inflation any longer. It is about the strength or weakness of the labor market. And those revisions, along with that QCEW report, fueled the fire that, hey, labor is still pretty strong here in the United States, and that has the risk of reigniting inflation, and that puts upward pressure on the long end of the yield curve, and that's where mortgage rates get affected. If I can be of any service to you over the weekend, don't hesitate to reach out, mark.milam@highlandmtg.com.